Hey guys, this is Lane. When you're invited by someone to a wedding feast, do not sit down to eat at the place of honor, since a more distinguished person than you may have been invited by the host. And he who invited both of you will come and say to you, "Give this man your place," and then in disgrace you proceed to take the last place. But when you are invited, go and sit down to eat at the last place, so that when your host comes, he will say to you, "Friend, move up higher," and then you will be honored in the presence of all who are at the table with you. For everyone who exalts himself will be humble, and he who habitually humbles himself will be exalted. And the title of the message is "Don't Exalt Yourself." And when I was thinking about this, he had me think of the fact that a lot of us, so we look at people by what we think is better than others. So, for example, like say if you had your local celebrity, you had your local basketball, football player come into a room, versus say if it's a minister, a guy that's working miracles, working healing, people flocking to their ministry by word of mouth. When you have a choice of who to exalt, you're going to exalt that basketball player or that local hero over the minister. And he said that's the way a lot of us perceive ourselves. We perceive ourselves based on what we judge, but not based on what's true. And God said, don't exalt yourself. I exalt you in due time. It's not your place to exalt yourself. It's not your place to determine you're this or that. I look on your heart. I see your ways. I see your deeds. And then I determine at the appointed time whether you should be exalted. So I want to encourage you guys, don't think more highly of yourself than you ought, but you should reverence who God created you to be, but you shouldn't exalt yourself beyond measure. So get into the will of God, get into the word of God, know your identity through him, and let him exalt you at the appointed time. Be blessed.